Welcome back to another UMedia Chicago video here with Matt. I am going to talk to you today about screen printing and using the vinyl cut process that we've used in the previous videos to create a screen that you will then use to make posters or t-shirts or whatever you want. So I have my tools set out here, my pincher, I got my poker here, I got my peeler, and I've got some snippers, and those are, you'll need to get a set of those tools exactly. Those are the recommended tools that we use. This is a design that a student of ours made named Alex. He's pretty awesome, and he made this really great zine about a year ago called Historicats. And so this is kind of an homage to that for our leaderboard t-shirts. So you can see the difference is that instead of removing everything but the sticker here, I am actually removing the design itself. What's orange is the vinyl, and what's white is the sort of backing part. And the reason for that is when you screen print, you're using a sort of permeable surface that allows ink to flow through it. So you want to block the parts where you don't want ink in your design, and you want to leave open the parts where you do want ink. So we obviously want this sweet cat Napoleon to show up, and we don't want the outside parts to. So the next step is to use transfer tape, sort of a big sheet of it here, to transfer the design to the screen. And you'll want to put the design on the side that would be flush with the table. And when you do that, you also have to keep in mind that you want to flip your design horizontally, because everything will be reversed. It'll be sort of, upside down or sideways or whatever. You can see I'm kind of burnishing the design at various points with my fingernails or with my pinchers, and that's so that it sticks to the transfer tape. And then I'm going to do it again here to get it to try and stick more to the screen. If pieces won't stick, you can kind of just put a little extra pressure on them with your thumb, or just sort of rub them a little bit with your fingers like I'm doing here, and that should help them to stick to the screen relatively well. And we don't really have very many problems with keeping them on once they're on. They just sort of stick pretty well, but then when you want to get them off, they come off pretty well too. You sort of scrape them off, which is nice. So the next step is to fill in any of the area that there isn't a design or vinyl. You're just going to use tape, just like regular tape, to sort of clean up around the area anywhere that there's sort of open silk. You want to close up with tape, and that blocks the paint as well. You can do that with extra vinyl scraps if you have any, or if you have transfer tape, you need to tape the transfer tape down. But you can see I kind of messed this one area up. It's got some like bubbles in it, so I'm just cutting it out, and I'm just going to put tape over it. Okay, so the next step is to use some looks like just like duct tape, basically, to put down our platform. So it's just this piece of wood with a couple of clasps on it, and I'm trying to center it in the table so that everything just sort of lines up, with my line of sight, like vision, so you don't really have to measure, sort of eyeball it. And then I'm going to try and center the screen on that, just so that it's the most sort of put together it can be, and I'm not like guessing. And then again, with that in mind, you use a piece of Mylar, which is just sort of thickish, like clear plastic. And you use that, you make some sort of tape hinges on the side, and you are going to use that to register where the design lands. And you can see I'm kind of putting a lot of paint out. And the reason for that is it's pretty difficult to use too much paint. Um, Although you don't want to get any paint where you don't want paint, because it is fabric ink. In this case, it's fabric ink, so it will stain and be permanent wherever it is. But any extra paint at the end of the design, you just sort of scoop back into the container. It's not like contaminated or anything. And then you can see I've got my registration sheet, sort of placing it down onto the t-shirt where the design is going to land, and that lets me arrange where the shirt is going to be. There's a couple of different sort of like benchmarks for where you might want it, but then once it's good to go, and you can start printing. Now, the trick with printing is to have lots of even pressure across the entire squeegee. So I like to spread my fingers across and sort of prioritize pressure in the center, because the outsides often get more pressure just naturally. And then there's sort of one stroke at the end where you sort of push all the excess paint back to the top of the screen. That's called flooding, and it makes sure that the screen is filled with ink, which allows it to not dry. And then it's off to the races. You just do it again and again. Speed is a bit of an issue, because if you take a long time, the paint can dry and sort of block the screen. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. You just do the same process. So good luck. Please contact us if you have any issues, and that's that.